anybody having used this repeater, then that will start in 1 minute. This is Cycle 2 of the ARRL, Western Massachusetts Traffic Net. This net meets 7 days a week on the K1FFK Mount Greylock 146910 repeater with a PL tone of 162.2. The purpose of this net is to handle any messages between the cities and towns of Western Massachusetts and provide liaison to the first region net that meets on 3948 kilohertz at 1:45 local time. This is a directed net. Please do not break the net unless you have emergency or priority traffic. Please do not leave the net without informing your net control station whenever possible. Your net control station today is Kilo Delta 2, Juliet Kilo Victor. My name is Peter, and I am in Albany, New York. At this time, is there any emergency or priority traffic on the frequency? Net control is now looking for a first region liaison station, Alpha Bravo 1, Tango Charlie. Paul, please call and list any traffic. Now net control is looking for any stations holding traffic or announcements for the net. Traffic or announcements only, please call now. Now net control is looking for any and all stations wishing to check into the Western Mass Traffic Net.
This is WA1 AES multi-haul between Troy and Albany. Good afternoon, Peter. No traffic. Yankee, Charlie, Whiskey, N1, YCW, Bruce, and North Adams running commercial power. Good afternoon, Peter. Lulu Hotel, Mike, John in Pittsfield, commercial power, no traffic. This is Here is Kilo Delta 2, Lima Charlie Hotel, KD2LCH, Darren, Stanton, New York, running commercial power. I have no traffic for the net. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Alpha Bravo 1 Tango Charlie, AB1TC. My name is Paul, and I do have traffic for the net. I have two messages, one for Leeds, Lima, Echo, Echo, Delta, Sierra, Massachusetts, and the other is for Southwick, Massachusetts. Back to net control. Kilo 2 Zulu Victor Lima mobile. Says Whiskey Yankee 1 Germany Cummington. Mark here. Commercial power, no traffic.
Okay, net recognizes WA1 AES. Good afternoon, Ernie. N1YCW, good afternoon, Bruce. WA1ZHM, good afternoon, John. KD2LCH, good afternoon, Darren. AB1TC, good afternoon, Paul. I acknowledge your traffic. K2VZL, good afternoon, and WY1G, good afternoon, Mark. Do you have any further check-ins for the Western Mass Traffic Net?
This is Kilo Charlie 1, Delta Alpha X-Ray, David in Springfield. Commercial power, no traffic. Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon to the net.
November 2, Juliet, November Tango, N2JNT, Jack in Brunswick, New York. Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, Nick. Commercial power, no traffic.
Okay, NIT recognizes KC1DAX Dave. N2JNT Ted, good afternoon. Do we have any further check-ins for the Western Mass Traffic Net? Okay. Alpha Bravo 1, Tango Charlie, KD2, JKV, go ahead with your traffic.
Okay, you ready to copy, Peter?
Ready to copy.
Number 1771, Hotel X-Ray Charlie. Kilo 7, Oscar Alpha Hotel. 13, Phoenix, Arizona. August 30th. Recipient, Paul Kelliher. I'll spell Kelliher, whose call sign is Nancy Frank 1G. I had a mind blank here. Address 520 Audubon Road. I'll spell AUDUBON Road. Post Office Box 399, Leeds, Massachusetts. That's Lima, Echo, Echo, David, Sierra, Massachusetts, 01053. Are we good so far?
100% copy, Paul, go ahead.
Okay, beginning of text. Join us. Oh, back up a minute. My mistake. He has a phone number, and the phone number is 413-584-7326. Okay, beginning of text. Join us to keep NTS active. Initial X-ray. Please send me a radiogram. '73 Skip. That's his name. Sierra Kilo India Papa. And his call sign again is Kilo 7 Oscar Alpha Hotel. End of message 1.
100% copy. Go ahead with message 2.
Okay. Number is 200. It's routine Hotel X-Ray Charlie Whiskey 2 Delta X-Ray Romeo 24 Syracuse, I'll spell SYRACUSE, New York. Date is September 3rd. I forget, you're a New York native, so you probably knew how to spell Syracuse. Anyway, recipient's name, Robert F. isn't Frank, Miller. His call sign, Nancy 1 X-Ray X-Ray Lima. Address 60 Lake Mont Street. I'll spell LAKE space MONT Street. And that's in Southwick, Mass. Zip is 01077. Telephone number 413-569-3290. Beginning of text. A friendly reminder, your amateur radio license will expire September 30th, 2016. Initial X-ray. Hope you will renew and continue to enjoy this great hobby. '73, Dave, Whiskey 2, Delta Echo Romeo. End of message 2.
100% copy, Paul. Thank you.
Okay, back to net control. Thanks, P.
And not a problem. Do we have any further check-ins for the Western Mass Traffic Net?
Yes, you do. Let me see if I've got it. This is November. Did I make it in?
Go ahead. Go ahead and try it again. I think the timer cut you off.
It was the ID that covered them up. You can hardly hear it, but it's in there. This one in. Okay, let me see if I got it now. And I will try it again. Good afternoon, everyone. It's November 2, Victor Uniform N2VU, Donald in Queensbury, New York. Commercial power battery backup. I have no traffic. And again, good afternoon, N2VU. November 1, Sierra Yankee November. Rick in Dalton, Massachusetts. Negative traffic today. I'm running commercial power. Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, Nat.
Okay, that recognizes N2VU. Donald, good afternoon. And NYSYN, good afternoon, Rick. Any last check-ins for the Western Mass Traffic Net? Okay, today is National Beer Lovers Day, National Neither Snow Nor Rain Day, National Acorn Squash Day, National Grandmother Moses Day, and National Salami Day. I'd like to thank everybody who checked in and those who stood by while the net was being conducted. Also like to thank the Northern Berkshire Amateur Radio Club for the use of the repeater. The time now is 1:15 p.m. and I now return the repeaters back to regular amateur radio use. This is Kilo Delta 2, Juliet Kilo Victor, signing 73, and have a good day.
Hey, W1 or WY1G. Mark, you still there? WA1ZHM. Yeah, John, I'm still around. I'm on my other radio. That's why how I checked into the net. Over. Hey, I thought you had it figured out. Oh, all right. Yeah, keep me posted. If I can help you, I'll try. I'm not familiar with the HT you have. Yeah, well, I think you asked me the question how long I've been a ham. Well, I've been a ham for a while, but I've been off the air for a long time, and just in the last couple of weeks, dug everything out. Had this 2-meter radio I bought a few years back, and then never did anything with it. The 2-meter, it's a mobile rig, but I have it in the house, and I pulled the old HF rig out, put a wire up. I've been playing around with DX, hadn't done that in a long time. Back in the day, I had DXCC. I think I have 111 credits. I used to live in South Carolina. I was in the Navy. Was in Japan. Worked reciprocal in the 90s with 7 Juliet 6 Charlie Oscar. That was my call, reciprocal there. And that was fun doing IOTA I was in Okinawa. So that was fun. But I'm just putting everything back together and getting my shack set up here in Cummington. I'm retired and have the time and the inklings. So that's my story, John. WY1G. Mark, I did a tour in Okinawa. I did a tour in Japan for a year. And where else did you mention? Well, yeah, I've been all over. I was in the Marines. Best part of the Navy. I'll let you comment. Yeah. So I spent 6 years in Okinawa, mainly working with Marines. I was a bubblehead. I was a submariner, and all the way up until my last tour, I was mainly in Charleston working boomers. I rode boomers, and we'd go to Scotland and Georgia and things. But basically lived in Charleston, South Carolina most of my career, and then went special programs because I wanted to go overseas and see a little bit of the world, which you don't get to do on boomers. So I went over there. I was a drug and alcohol counselor, mainly Marines on that island. So I worked out of Camp Lester, where the hospital was, and loved that place. Retired over there, spent another year over there, and then came back here in like 99. Went back to South Carolina because I had a network there and got a job, and then moved back up here when my parents were ailing in 2004. So, so I worked with a lot of Marines in Okinawa, and up to that point, I really hadn't worked with Marines, but I had a great time. Have a lot of Marine friends from that period of time, and loved Okinawa. So Japan was fun. Back to you, John. WA1ZHM. I'm curious what HT you were using on digital. One of the new Yezus, I'm assuming. It's the FT2 Delta Romeo. radio, they might be able to help you out with the problem. So you might mention it, and maybe somebody will come back. I know there's several right now listening that have those. I'm not familiar with it, but well, let's give a call out and see. He's working digital, but he can't seem to get the FM part of it working. Analog. Anybody out there want to help?
Another issue I have with that, trying to write to an SD card.
Programming it via computer?
I want to, but my problem is, and I bought another SD card in case it was the card today when I was in Pittsfield, and I haven't tried that out yet. But the radio recognizes the SD card. It shows up on the faceplate that it contains an SD card. It's the right size that it can recognize. I can put it in my computer and I can write a file on the computer, but when I put it in the HT, I can't seem to write the file. It looks like it's writing. I go through the whole sequence properly. It says it's writing, but there's never a file there when I put it on my computer, so that's kind of weird. So, yeah, up to this point, I'm doing all the programming manually, which is a pain, and that might be one of the problems why I don't quite have it right so far. But I'll still fool around with that and see what happens. WI1G.
Excellent. And yeah, my cousin was a submariner. I have great fondness for the outfit. You guys do a great job encapsulated below the surface of the sea with SpongeBob and the gang. Yeah, I liked Okinawa. I loved Okinawa. I would have lived there if I could have, but unfortunately I was directed to go elsewhere. I was on R&R in Okinawa coming back from Vietnam, so it was a swell place. Boy, the people are great. I fell in love with Japan also. I really liked that country. I wanted to stay there too, but I couldn't. Often thought maybe I'd go back there, but I haven't been back yet. I miss the cherry blossoms.
Yeah, I love the place. So you were there when it was really crazy. Yeah, I heard some crazy stories about R&R in Okinawa during the Vietnam era. I came in a little after that. I graduated high school in '73, and by the time I got in the Navy, I didn't join until '78. And by that time, when I got to Okinawa, of course, Nixon had given it back, so everybody was driving on the right-hand side of the road and everything. But I heard some crazy stories about people doing R&R in Okinawa over the years when I was over there. Maybe I'll share them sometime with you, but not on the air. Over.
Stand, yes. Good old Okinawa. Konnichiwa. I still speak a bit of Japanese. I like the language. And let's see. Yeah, I went in and I joined in Yes, I joined, believe it or not, in '62. So I got a little on you. But so keep that in mind when you're speaking to me, and treat me with all due respect as a senior member. Just kidding.
Certainly, sir. Well, I won't call you sir, but I don't know if you were an officer or an enlisted guy, but I was enlisted. I ended up retiring as a senior chief, kind of like a first sergeant level in the Marines, E8. But I only did 20. I got out as soon as I hit the check of the month club, and then got a real job for a while with mainly government contractors. Worked for Titan. I worked for L3 Titan. General Dynamics up here in Pittsfield for a while. Towards the end, that was where I finally stopped working and retired. But there was a bunch of others because they kept on getting anyone I worked for kept on getting bought out by somebody else, so I couldn't even
keep track of what the name of my company was for a while there. So as an electronics guy, I worked on the computers that shot the torpedoes on the submarines, fire control. So I was fire control senior chief.
General Dynamics for 29 years. I worked in fire control. I worked in OP3 on guidance. I worked just about everywhere there was to work. When I started there, it was General Electric, of course. I know what you mean about the buyouts. I worked in wire wrap. I was an inspector for printed wire boards and OP3 Factory of the Future, which didn't last too long. And all through I did the turret stabilization, phalanx. What else? Over the horizon radar. Worked on several black programs. And the pod, I remember that. Well, a whole bunch of things. My favorite was working in the clean room, though, in OP3. And, rocket science. we always laughed about that. This isn't rocket science.
Yeah, but if it is, they have rocket scientists.
Well, we were proud of what we did. We were the only place in the country that could really pull it off. They outsourced it for a while, for a year, and the other place that they sent it to, the job, couldn't handle it, couldn't hack it, so they brought it right back. But unfortunately, they laid off during that year. They laid off a whole bunch of guys from OP3 that were really expert at what they did. So it kind of hurt them. They didn't train everybody again. And a lot of people retired and stuff. I just live down the street from there. I can see it out my window here. So it doesn't leave me alone. I live in Coatesville. So the hectic place in Pittsfield.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, a lot of what you're saying, I remember hearing from guys that worked there. You know, most government contractors, especially in the Beltway and even down in South Carolina when I was working, everybody was jumping, following kind of the programs as they got picked up by other contractors. And, in Pittsfield, there's basically one. So I couldn't believe the longevity of some of these guys that work fire control, especially. I mean, 40, 45 years they were working up there. I mean, it was the only gig in town that paid anything, too, of course. But that was amazing. I was used to, if you had 5 years working for a contractor, you were an old-timer. And I come up here, and there's 40, 45-year-old workers. WI1G.
I worked, when I first got married, I worked 3 jobs. I drove the ambulance in Adams. We actually started the ambulance service. I was a police officer, and I worked at the hospital as a orderly to make ends meet. And then I started at General Electric as a sweeper and made more money with one 8-hour job than I was making with 3 other jobs. So you were right about the revenue.
I just pulled you up on QRZ, and what are you into, microwave? Is that what that big aluminum cone is in your shack?
I glom onto the internet with my friendly people next door. It's a motel next door. And at that time, I had that was a feed horn I made out of cardboard and aluminum foil to augment, the reception, and it worked just fine. It worked great. I've always played with microwaves and that sort of stuff, but I use it in fox hunting. I've used different types of antennas. I always play with antennas. I love them.
Yeah, that's pretty cool hanging up there in your shack. I don't really have a shack to put a photo up there, so my ugly mug's there. But yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, John. Hey, I'm going to jump out of here and start playing with this radio some more and see if I can figure it out. and I'm going to play with that new SD card, and I really would like to program this on the computer to make it a lot easier than pushing all these buttons. I was trying to put the names in, like K1FFK for the Greylock repeater and stuff in there, and it's just, it's a lot tougher than just typing it in. So I'm going to play with that too and see if I can get that to work. And if I can't, maybe have to give somebody a call, maybe where I bought it or something like that. But I have faith. I'm supposed to be a computer geek. I mean, that's what I did, systems engineering mainly. So, I should be able to figure this out. Shouldn't be rocket scientists, as we said. So 73 WA1ZHM, John. This is Whiskey Yankee 1 Golf 73.
Comment WA1AES. WA1AES. Hello, John, and good afternoon, Mark. Whiskey Alpha 1 Alpha Echo Sierra Amateur Electronics Supply Mobile. Heading back into the home QTH at Pittsfield. And RT Systems is the company that makes all the computer-based memory software. Don't know if they make one for your radio, but I've got one for the 857Ds here, and nothing like typing it all in and then just downloading it, over.
Yeah, I actually did download that software. I'm just having a problem getting the SD card to work because I couldn't get the cable drivers to work with Windows 10 with the cable that was supplied with the rig. I didn't buy the cable from RT Systems, but I figured I'd go the SD card route. But so far it's been a dead end with that too. So I bought a new card and I'm going to try that out. Over.
Okay, and then you're going in the right direction. Once you get it to work, it's a lot easier to type in the frequencies and the names and whatever else you want. Hello, John. How you doing? Over to you.
And I like to say that. That's a good thing. So, hey, I got to go do some things too, so I'm going to clear. Good chatting with you, Mark, and keep me posted. Don't be a stranger over here. We got a lot of good folks that will get you straightened out if you don't have success with that new card. WA1ZHM, ciao, ciao, guys.